What's going on, guys? It's Greg Farley from the Wiseguys, and I'm here with
Brandon Howard,
a.k.a.
Joey Willie.
And he did what at Nationals?
Last place. Dropped after last place, but I made it bubbled in the 7th round.
In the 8th round, actually. 8th round, actually.
Yeah, I scrubbed out early, so I got to stand by and root for him like he roots for me at times. And he played Psyframes with some spice in the side deck. We'll give you the name at the end of the video, but let's jump straight into it with the main deck and let you have the honors.
All right, so Yu-Gi-Oh is all about monsters, so we had to get right to the point. I got 3 gammas. Then the most important card in the deck is Driver, because you can't play any Psyframe without Driver. Alpha is for when people decide they want a normal or special summon. It doesn't stop it, but it does give you advantage to try to stop them. Then we got spell removal, spell negation, which is everybody plays Yu-Gi-Oh. Everybody plays Yu-Gi-Oh. Everybody has to play spell cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. And then battle stoppers. I only play 2 battle stoppers in this format. They're not as important anymore, but anyway, they do their job.
I know you're tuning in and you're saying, "Wow, this is pure Psyframes." Yes, it's pure Psyframes, but we're gonna keep it rolling.
One multi-threader. That is a very important card. I'll tell you the combo later with it and how to outsmart your opponent. I play 1 Ghost Ogre, 2 Lancia, very important card, Ghost Reaper. I played it at 2 nets. And that's all the monsters that I played in this deck.
Did you have a certain feeling about Ash, or do you just see? I remember that it was hard to get a hold of them during National Weekend.
It's hard to get a hold of. Psyframes do what Ash does in plenty of forms, and I get a monster and then get to rip a card out of your hand with Omega.
True.
Back to the spells. Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki.
And these were to cause a reaction, basically?
Yeah, basically cause a reaction, make my opponent do something they don't want to do, and then when they do, exploits it. Hats off to Nico Smith, because I thought about him when I played the Dark Hole and the Raigeki. Terraforming, Foolish Burial Goods. I'll show you the combo with that. That's a broken combo in this deck. Twin Twister, freaking retarded against back row decks, making them want to do something they don't want to do, and then you capitalize off of it. Pot of Desires. I'm going to explain this card. If you're playing against Psyframes and they activate Pot of Desires, please do not ash them, because the gamma is probably in hand and they're probably going to kill you with it.
I do know for a fact that this is technically a search card in Psyframes. I'll let you figure that out, but it's something to do with that guy over there in that card. But yeah, let's back to
Pot of Duality. 2 of. Most people will play it as a 3 of, but it is a very bad idea. You can't negate anything if they were to ash you or do anything that was to stop your searches, because you can't special summon behind that card. So yeah. Then the most important card Psyframes play is the fill spell.
Give me a number. How many times did somebody literally ask, "What does this do?" and pick it up and read it?
Every game. Every single game, more than once.
And that's when you know you're in trouble in Yu-Gi-Oh, when you're reading cards.
Right. So yeah, very powerful card. Most people will try to Twin Twister it, banish it. Basically, the best thing you can do is banish this card. You cannot Twin Twister this card, because I'm gonna grab it back next turn. 1 broken card in Psyframes is Psychic Field Zone. People think about it. Really good players, they will stop me from using this card by putting the monsters in 2 different spots in the graveyard or the banish pile, but it doesn't matter, because if you're a good Psyframe player, you know how to out all that. Trap cards. I play 1 Swords, Spiritual Swords of Revealing Light. It's just a tech card that I like. 1, you pitch it to the graveyard, and then you can save yourself later on in the game. So it literally makes it so that your opponent has to play around this and play around your entire hand plus your attack negator, like this guy right here, and they have to play that. That's this 3rd guy right here. It's him.
Cool. And if they try to get rid of it, you delta them with the, yeah.
Right.
This guy's a jerk.
One metaverse. Broken card in this deck. You can actually chain it behind one of your monsters. So if I was to like gamma you, and you're like, haha, you don't have a field spell. To the gamma, I could chain this card and put a the field spell on board, and then right afterwards, the field spell will trigger.
I got it. Because it says immediately after it resolves.
Right. Right after it'll trigger and synchro into an Omega, and then you've lost card advantage or field presence because my Omega is at 2800. So yes, very very broken setup to play in this deck. And the most powerful card in this deck. This is Welcome to Hell. If I see one of these cards on my board with card advantage, the game's over. You need to pick up your deck and go to game 2.
Cool.
What it does is, if I have a Psyframe monster like this guy, Gamma, everybody knows Gamma, I can banish the Gamma out of my hand, target one card on your field or anybody's field, mine included, and banish it face down. Now, with that being said, you can target your own cards or your opponent's cards, banish them face down. Omega, this nice guy right here, benefits off of that, and he can put any card that's in my banish pile back into my graveyard, and then I can use it as such.
Is that face down and face up?
Face down and face up. The other thing that...
So you just said face down ass? No, I'm just kidding.
But the other thing is, this card has a graveyard effect. I can kick it to the banish pile, and then search any Psyframe card other than itself from my deck to my hand. That's the field spell, monster, any spell, whatever that comes out later on in life with Psyframes. It adds it. Period. So yes, this card is very broken and should be, in my opinion, probably banned eventually. That is the deck as a whole.
Cool.
Let's go to the side deck.
Whatever one you want to do first.
Side deck.
I see the mean stuff right off the top. Oh boy.
I love this card. This card says, "Come on, come play." It's not Macrocosmos, but it does almost the exact same thing Macrocosmos does. So then we have this nice card that says, "Hey, let's come play." It does the same thing as Macrocosmos does, and it negates a monster on the field and or in the graveyard.
Right.
So I play 2 of that guy, and then welcome to Macrocosmos. Everybody knows what this card does. This card's been around for generations. This is
the Dark Law before Dark Law.
This is my board. This is my board that if I need to stop you, I'm going to put these cards in to stop you. Any deck, any format, I'm going to put these 4 cards in to stop you.
Right. Strong sideboard, strong start to it.
Alright. Anti-spell. Every deck in this format is playing spells. Last time I checked, that either slows them down or stops them. Sky Striker, when I sided against Sky Striker, I didn't play these, but I'll show you what I played against Sky Strikers. Red Reboot. This is for back row decks. I didn't run into many back row decks at the regional, at the Nats like I thought I was, but if I had, I would have played this card. It's completely broken. It's basically a Psyframe card in my hand, and I take half my life points for it. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Your card stopped. So your strike is stopped, and you can't play any more traps for the rest of the turn. So, broken card.
Do you feel like you generate enough advantage? Oh, well, I see what you do. I'm going to shut my mouth.
Oh, no. You let these guys know.
So you're saying why in the hell is he playing Reboot on his heels? He's playing a deck that plays on his heels. You're about to learn why.
There you go. This is the Spice, ladies and gents. In the Psyframe deck, this is the Spice. Time Lord Psyframes.
A.K.A.
Time Frames. Yes, sir. Man, I played so many Sky Striker decks that were built around just setting up their board, and then their face immediately drops when they see it's a Time Lord or it's Time Maiden hit the board, and they go, what the hell does that do? And just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, these go, oh, you got game advantage? Here, let me take that away from you immediately. Let me special summon this monster as a Cyber Dragon effect, special summon it, and then tribute it as cost. So if they strike this card, they ash this card, they do anything that would mess with this card right here, you go, okay, cool, it's gone. Effect, banish it for cost, special summon the Time Lord. And now we go to the Time Lords. This big beast is my favorite. This guy goes, I'm gonna have your life points. Now, and when you're about to get in
Yeah,
time,
remember the time rules. I know. Let's get back to that.
in the time rules, this card is very crucial. I won a game off of guy because he just decided he wanted to leave a monster in attack position. I had an Omega in this guy. All I did was battle phase, half your life points, Omega, attack for game, right over his monster, just because he left that monster in attack mode.
Cool.
This guy, he targets a monster that is on the field.
What's his name?
Time Lord Holland.
Halen. Halen. Yeah, whatever his name is. Van Halen, that's his name.
he attacks the monster, and he brings your opponent's life points.
Just scoot over a little bit. Yeah.
He brings your opponent's life points to yours. So if your opponent's at 8,000 and you're at 12, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's at 12. Very, very powerful card. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then this guy, he's a broken card. Very broken card. He goes, oh well, hey, you got a monster. Let me do you one better. Well, I'm gonna target your monster, blow it up, and then you take the damage of its attack points. So, retarded. And then this guy, again in time rules, ladies and gentlemen. This guy says at the end of the battle phase that this guy would produce, that he would be in, your life points become 4,000. So, if you're battling with your opponent back and forth and life points reach 2,000 and you looking at his is at 28, and you got battle phase and they go time and you swing with this guy, you just won the game, sir, because he will put your life points at 4K.
Did you ever think about playing the water one? Well, you know, with reroute and...
The water one, I thought about it. There were a lot of decks that were playing a lot of back row, and it would have worked. I just chose not to, as it's a extinction, but it would have worked. I just chose not to play it. The new cards, nobody knew what they were doing, and along with Psyframes, with these big dudes right here. And they're little dudes, but they do a lot of work, man. I mean, like, people don't understand that there's a lot of work put into this deck from time to time. And these guys literally obliterate the board. Like, they take your opponent and they go, hey, that's cute. That's what you got. All right, let me show you how I'm gonna stop it. That's what they do.
Cool. So basically the combo is, because these aren't in your main deck, you can main them, that's people's discretion. We're just showing you ideas, but you stop everything, and then while these are out here you can't do anything, and you build up advantage to where you stop everything.
Right, exactly. And
it was like I was preaching gospel to him. If you could see his face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These guys, I mained them in game 3, or game 2 if time is low. Literally, time.
They say time on them, so I'm pretty sure you should use them in time.
Yes, sir.
If you're thinking about playing pure time maiden, time lords, you should maybe think about looking at all of them and building a pure version. I'm sure it's possible. Nobody's really jumped on that yet. But let's get in this young extra deck and see the greatest synchro of all time right off the bat.
This man here changes games. Changes games. What I mean it changes games, he'll take a card out of your hand, off the synchro, and then if you are able to try to punch over this guy, which I'll show you later, there's a combo in which most people don't realize that happens with this guy and the field spell. Mm-hmm. Then we have this man right here.
It's his little brother.
It's his little brother, but he does just as much damage. He can take a monster off your board, as well as his 2,500, And then when he dies, nobody really knows this, but when he dies, you can search any Psyframe card in your graveyard, period, and add it back to your hand. Sorry, that can't be asked. Thank you. Then, the brokenness is this guy right here. Psyframes, please play 2 to 3 of these. If you're gonna play this card, play it at its max. The only reason I didn't play 3 is because I didn't have the 3rd.
Cool.
Then we have Thought Ruler.
Another time-related card.
Yes, sir.
Got 30 seconds.
Always playable at any situation, and I play it back to back with Omega if I'm running out of Omegas. Another time card allows you to gain life, and then this card is for when people want to cherries you. You can get the Omega back from the cherry using this card. And then these are my cherries targets you guys seen earlier. Ways to out my opponent, period.
I'm sure. Which one came up the most, would you say, out of those Reaper targets?
Kagari. Every Kagari, hands down. Just cherish them, and you see the disappointment on their face. I played one ABC player. I seen ABC the moment he did it, and I cherished him right out of the bat. That was my first game. Yeah.
So you had an easy day.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's plenty of ideas. This is just a starting point, but this did literally bubble at Nationals. I'm sorry that I just now getting to it. I've been meaning to do it for some time now. Any shout outs you want to give? Any advice you want to give?
Shout out to the Wiseguys for taking this. Shout out to Greg Farley, Nico Smith, Alan Nels, everybody that helps me practice against any deck in the format.
Because basically this is a defensive deck, so you need to play everybody in the format.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And know what to stop. Would you any recommendations on what you would change, or is this pretty much a staple that you would?
I change it from week to week depending on how I play or how I feel. It is Psyframes. I get to do whatever I want to when I want to.
Appreciate it, Brandon, a.k.a. Joey Wheeler. This is Pegasus signing out. I think I'm going to put him in the shadow realm, though. We'll see.
Peace.
See, he's saying peace out to the world.